What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, fantastic afternoon, fantastic pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the HASANABI broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles, folks. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, girls, and MBs are having a fantastic one because today's a beautiful day. Today's a wonderful day. Today is a very special day. Is it a very special day because there's a new merch day? Is that the reason? You might be thinking to yourself, are the tariffs on your merch for Canadians? I think I have BDS on you. No, it's not. This is the one. It's the one American merch is that it's Canadian BDS approved. Obviously, this is personal news time. This is part of the broadcast where I tell you about my personal news about what's going on in the world of HASANABI Piker in between the time period where I press the stop streaming button and press the start streaming button. So help me God. And a lot has taken place. After ending the broadcast, I got on a flight. March and I pack the stuff up, pack the remote desktop up, and we get to the JSX terminal. Okay, JSX is the charter flights that they have for, that's like basically a little bit more expensive than a normal commercial flight, but then you get to not have to deal with an entire LAX situation. You can fly into Burbank Airport. It's for rich folk. Not a real like private jet thing. It's like a European puddle jumper. Now, the new meta for me and March is that we check the cockpit to make sure that there's at least like a woman or a non-white person in there. So luckily that was the case, both going to Las Vegas and also returning from Las Vegas. So we get to the terminal and I see a dude raw dogging cucumbers. Trader Joe's organic Persian cukes. And he's also raw dogging, like bulk and breakfast style, raw dogging freaking tomatoes, little rose grape tomatoes. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm like, what? Who is this monster? No, they're not peeled, which is fine. The Persian cucumbers, you don't have to peel. You shouldn't peel Persian cucumbers. Anyway, so this guy is just like, I'm watching this dude from behind. He's just like eating. He's kind of brawling. I'm like, what the hell's going on right now? Like, this dude is crazy. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Anyway, we get on the plane and this dude's got some red glasses on. It's like some blue light glasses or something. I don't know what it is. And I was like, wait a minute, this guy looks kind of familiar. Turns out it's freaking Andrew Huberman. Okay. And I was like, oh my God, the cucumber warrior was Andrew Huberman. So at least like he, walks the walk as well as talking the talk. Like he genuinely believes all the crazy stuff that he has on his podcast in terms of like the red light glasses and all this stuff. Yeah, Andrew Cukerman with the cukes. Yeah, Andrew Cucumberman. For those of you who don't know, he's a very famous podcaster. Like my mom knows who he is. Like he has like a lot of play for people over the age of 35. Like if you're over the age of 35, you've definitely seen this guy. He's like a Stanford neuroscientist who then became like an alpha podcast guy. All you need to know is he's a Stanford neuroscientist, but he's also simultaneously like aligned with like the Tesla crowd. In any case, there's a lady sitting in front of me because like the seats that we're, the seats that we're sitting in are still kind of tight for my long ass legs. I accidentally push her. She turns around and says, "Don't worry, I didn't bring my strap on with me today." And I was like, that's a wild thing to say. Turns out, lady's a old porn star, former porn star, right? It's cool, whatever. She's sitting between me and Andrew. And I turned to Marsh. I'm like, yo, I'm going to get this dude on the podcast. Marsh is like, don't do that. Just straight up. He was like, why? Marsh said, why? I said, nah. I'm going to get him on the podcast. Yeah, he was the voice of reason. It failed, okay? He tried to do a crit check. He tried to do a speech check, and it failed. Voice of reason failed in my brain. Immediately, I'm like, I lean over to her, and I say, hey, would you mind tapping the shoulder of the gentleman in front of you? So she does. He turns around. I'm like, are you Andrew Huberman? He's like, yes, I am. And I was like, well, I'm Hassan Piker. I also have a podcast, which is bad entry point into the conversation, but it is whatever. It is what it is. So I was going to spark up a convo to see if he would be down to, come on the Fear M podcast or whatever, right? And then this lady literally severed the convo with a serrated knife. Basically decided, no, it's my time to shine. Turns out she is a massive Andrew Huberman fan. It turns out she's a stan. She's like, listen, I'm a former porn star. I got multiple immune deficiency issues. I love your healthy lifestyle. She starts like pulling out different episodes of the podcast. You know what I mean? It's like if I was sitting in front of Hideo Kojima or something and I start talking about like random things that he did, random Easter eggs that he did in like the PSP series, Peace Walker, right? Like, she's a Huber head. She just basically was like, no, it's my time to shine. I'm going to tell Andrew what's what. Like, I'm going to tell him how much I appreciate his commentary. And I was just like, all right, whatever. I'm going back to playing Kingdom Come Deliverance. Yeah, she was hubed up on a Thursday afternoon, okay? Hubed the heck up, all right? 2 reasons I'm mentioning this. 1, it's a funny story. 2, we got to put an end to podcasts, dude. Podcasts are such a burden on modern society. I've realized, like, far too many people listen to far too many podcasts. Tariffs on Shure microphones. That's what I'm running for. I'm running for office, and that's what I'm running on. He reignited his interest in me in a second. She basically was like, oh, you want to have him on your podcast, right? That's what she said. She also tattletaled on me. She was being a tattletale, like making it seem like I'm some random dude who's just like also an Andrew Huberman fan or something. And I'm just like, oh my God, my hero, my icon. I would love to have him on my podcast. Like, I got little bro so hard by freaking Andrew Huberman. But then I recovered. I recovered it because I was like, oh yeah, well, because he was talking about what he was doing in Vegas and I was talking about what I was doing in Vegas. I was like, oh yeah, I was in Vegas for the Bernie rally. You know, I just interviewed Bernie in AOC. And he did something that it causes like an immediate ick in me. Maybe I'm being too much of a baby for it. Maybe you guys will agree with me. But he was like, oh, what's your X account? And I immediately went, like, it's just like I had a physical reaction to someone in the real world calling Twitter X. Like, it almost like, oh, like it hit me. I was just not ready for it. You know what I mean? Because I see it online. I see it in the replies of Elon Musk. But like, when someone in the real world like hits that X, I'm like, I don't know how to deal with that. So I hit him back with yes, I have a Twitter account, like immediately, like boom, boom, riposte. And it was like a almost contentious back and forth. We were now mentally sparring in the marketplace of ideas. He was Mr. X, I was Mr. Twitter. He hit it back with, is your interview with Bernie Sanders on X? And to which I immediately responded with, it's on my YouTube page, but I bet there's some clips on Twitter. And we just kind of did that, like a little stand battle. You know what I mean? Like, it was like this. We come in, I recognize that he's a stand user. And in my mind, I was thinking like, you can always tell when someone is a stand user, right? And I said to myself, yada, yada, does our stands started fighting one another, you know? But yeah, he asked me about my politics and I was like, because he was trying to, he did the classic podcast thing. And now I feel like being a podcaster or just having a podcast is like right coded kind of is like weird. But he asked me about like how this musician that Bernie Sanders apparently has been touring with that is like controversial or something. I don't fucking know. Apparently she's trans and it's one of those things where you're like, this is information that I don't know about, and it, you know, why do you know about this information? Like, it just tells me where you're getting your news from. You know what I mean? Yeah, Laura Jane Grace. Yeah, apparently she was like saying something about God. I don't know. I looked into it a little bit. I couldn't figure it out, but it's like, yeah, a musician did some music and Christians were upset or whatever. But it's like, why does Andrew Huberman know this? Like, what is his algorithm? He hit me with one of those and I was just like, I don't know what that is. But basically I was like, listen, I'm to the left of Bernie, and he was shocked by that. He didn't even realize there were people like that on the planet, I guess. But yeah, we just had like a little bit of a back and forth little conversation, and he was like, I'll check your stuff out. So if he's in the chat right now, Andrew, I would love to have you on the pod or on the stream. I don't know if he actually followed me on Twitter, or maybe because I said Twitter instead of X, maybe he didn't follow me. Oh, he seemingly has not followed me. I'm gonna follow him though. I'm gonna follow him, even though we have the same number of followers, it seems, on Twitter. You know, I probably got more emotion than he does, but that's not a big deal. All right. Not a big deal, Andrew. I know you checked out my Twitter account. You saw the metrics and you probably were thinking to yourself, all right, this guy knows how to use X. Ideology.shop. Launch the merch. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Ideology.shop. New merch alert. That's right. It's live. It's alive. Get him while it's hot before it gets sold out, because I don't want to hear from you guys talking about, oh, I didn't get it this round. I didn't get my merchandise. Can you re-release this? Can you re-release that? I don't want to hear it. Also, we have a baby tee as well. That's new. We finally have a baby tee for the ladies, because the ladies have been asking for it. So we got a baby tee as well that's cropped. The Chaos tee comes in both a baby tee, a women's version, and also just like the regular unisex one. I just wanted to defeat the misogyny allegations by hitting you with the baby tees. There's also available ones still in stock that didn't get sold out, I guess, that are deep sale. Some, I guess, some other ones from the last line as well. This is the new line. It's mostly just like whatever vibe I'm feeling. You guys might have noticed, whatever vibe I'm feeling, whatever I'm angry about, I try to pour into whatever the line that we're making. And this time it's more so about misinformation online. These are tough, Unc. Yeah, you can see more photos on my Instagram. I post it on there as well. Whenever we do a freaking merch line, I do a Insta drop as well of some of these photos. Many of them are also online already. Some of the t-shirts that I'm wearing are XL. Some of them are larges. The tops that I'm wearing are larges. Like this one, this top that I'm wearing is a large. You need to make lying is OP, please nerf. Yeah, maybe next time. Yo, at the Bernie rally, I actually saw some ladies wearing the merch, and they had actually cut the bottom of it, which I think is like pretty solid. Like, if you think it's too long, you would just like cut the bottoms of it. First time watching during drop. Why does he pose with guns in the photos? Don't have a problem with it. Looks sick as hell. Just curious. It's just like random shit. Because it's like super simple, I try to do like props at least to try to make it more interesting. And some of the props are guns. I brought a sword this time. Symbolic lavas. I don't know. Just like random shit. That's it. That's the go get the merchies. Go get the merch. Dump your entire paycheck to it. I'm kidding. Obviously, don't buy it if you don't have the opportunity to buy it. But yeah, this is it. This is what we got. This is the merchy. Hope you guys enjoy it. Don't know who this model is or what her sizes are or what size she's wearing. I'm sure it says it in the May 30s. Machine wash quote with light colors, tumble dry low, do not iron. This meters. Baby tee with mid-leg crop fit, full-length sleeves, thick binding collar. Okay, it doesn't say. It says it on the picture when you hover over. Is Ramadan? Don't scroll up. Do you know her politics? No. You guys need to stop being freaks, dude. Seriously. No, I don't know. She's a model, chat. Why would I know her politics? I didn't. Y'all literally, I'm done. Like, we had such normal, I had 2 normal conversations with like media and voters yesterday, and chat lost their freaking minds the entire time. Like, they just could not comprehend what it's like. Like, we do behave in a very, as a community, as a hive mind, we need to get better. We can't behave like this. It's just like very odd. It is a very odd way to operate, dude. You built this community. I know and I yell quite a bit to try to like rein it in, but it won't work. It don't work for some reason. All right, let's see what Cutie Cinderella was saying.
I think it's good that someone like Hasan, who is like big man, like handsome, famous guy, people are like, oh, he's autistic.
Autistic. She said autistic. You didn't ask Bernie if he was single though. What is this? Ask him if he watches the pod. Ask him if he's single. Wait, you didn't ask. What the fuck? Okay, first of all, he's not single. And secondly, of course he watches the pod. Nice to see Cutie finally warming up to you after all this time. The interview was sick. It's so cool to talk to some of my lib family and be like, streamer got to talk to AOC and Bernie. Yeah.